Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 42 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Hope you guys brought your towels today because it's going to be an awesome episode. I want to get into automated mining, and basically speaking, there's a few ways we can do this in the pack, and I'd like to explore some of them and try out the new ones that I've never tried before because there are a couple that are brand new. So let's say that in my mind, there's 4 different ways we can auto mine in this pack. We've got the quarry from FTB Industrial Contraptions, which we haven't even touched or looked at yet. So I'm interested in trying this mod out because it's new. It's made by the FTB team. Basically, they took the original industrial craft and some components of buildcraft like the quarry and kind of wanted to reimagine them in their own more modern way. As you guys know, there haven't been versions of industrial craft or buildcraft out for a while. Now that said, I think industrial craft is actually being worked on, so it might have a version coming out at some point in the future. And when and if it does, maybe we'll add it to the pack so that you have, options to play with either one. But for now, I want to check out the FTB industrial contraptions because who knows, maybe it's cool. Following that, there's also the RF Tools Builder, which you can use as a quarry, which will quickly mine out a very large area. There's the Mechanism Digital Miner, which is a very powerful way of mining up a large area. And then finally, if you wanted to create a create moving contraption that can just basically, move throughout the world and clear out large segments of it. I think I did that in my last Let's Play series, if I remember correctly. We created a big create moving contraption for doing that. So we might do that as like a fun exercise, but for now I want to look at something new that I haven't done before, and that specifically relates to FTB industrial contraptions. So with that said, I'm going to remove the other 2 types of things, and I also have Reborn Storage on here as a thing I want to check out. The problem being is that Reborn Storage is a very expensive mod when it comes to resources, and let me tell you how little resources we have. If we're looking at ingots, we're pretty good on things like copper and lead because we haven't been using it at all, but things like iron and gold, not so much. AKA redstone, also hilariously low. So we're going to need to, get more resources, hence the desire for a quarry of some kind. So I don't know how good this quarry is. We're going to find out. Maybe it's good, maybe it's meh. If it's meh, then we got other options, right? We're going to find out. I don't know much about this mod, other than the fact that it's an IC2 spiritual successor, if you will. Basically, they took a lot of the concepts of industrial craft and said, we're going to make our own mod from scratch using these ideas. So with that said, let's get to it. First off, I know we're going to want a few more crafters because if I remember correctly, IC2 had a lot of crafting. So I would like to automate that if possible, please. Hence, making 4 crafters right now. And then eventually what we'll do is we'll move all of this into some form of Reborn Storage multi-block setup, right? But for now, at least we have a way to get this stuff going, right? So let's look at FTB Industrial Contraptions. Long story short, it looks very much like the old IC2. So we know we're going to have copper wire. There's going to be rolling machines. There's going to be, so you can get copper plates. There's going to be rolling machines to get, okay, so 1 to 1, 1 to 2, or we can just do 3 to 6. So why would I run those through the machines if the vanilla... Okay, that's a question I don't understand. Remember IC2? It used to be this was the easier way, but the more expensive way. It looks like they're the same. Am I missing something? Because at the end of the day, you wind up with 1 to 1, right? And then 1 to 2. But over here, we also have 1 to 2. So that's the thing. In addition to that, we're going to need some rubber. So how do we get rubber? So we can smelt slime balls. There's also, so the smelting of slime balls of any kind. Industrial foregoing, which is in the pack, by the way, since we updated it. So slime balls is a big one, or rubber from the thermal series, which we could get from some stuff. Is there any other clever way to get rubber, or is it just smelting slime balls? So there's no rubber trees, I would think, right? That would be my expectation here. We can also separate latex from myrrh trees. All right, now that's something. And that's in the FTB Industrial Contraptions mechanic. So that's probably what I'm supposed to do, would be my guess. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. So let's look at latex. So there is definitely industrial foregoing latex and myrrh trees latex. So there's rubber wood saplings from myrrh trees. Okay. Is there a mod called Murder Trees? Oh, we even have some. Look at that. Well, would you look at that? That's exciting. So it looks like there's a wooden bucket from Murder Trees. There's a tree tap from Murder Trees. We should look at these. We should see what that's all about. Sounds cool. I mean, we should try it, right? Why not? Let's do it. All right, so to grow a rubber wood sapling, let's get ready to go outside and grow some trees, huh? Using the power of magic, of course. Boom, boom, boom. So do I like... That's cool. That's neat. All right, so my assumption was pretty accurate. Cool. Now I wonder which one of these is the entity that should be tick accelerated. I'm going to say it's that one. First thing I do with a new mod is like, let's figure out how to tick accelerate it. Because, you know, it's me. So now what happens? Okay. Oh. You right click it. So I'm assuming I can't hopper out of that thing, right? Is that a fair guess? No hoppering? Even though there's no inventory under the hopper, it looks like you want to right-click that, dude. Now, my assumption would be that this is an unlimited amount. So if we could get some kind of auto-clicker going on here, that would be cool. Oh, look, when you right-click, it tells you how much is in there. Okay. Well, that's nifty. That's nifty. How much... Now, can I put multiples of these on the side, or would that slow it down? I mean... Right? Oh, these don't stack, by the way, so we should be careful of that. So it's 1,000? Okay, I think it's 1,000 is what it seems like. Interesting. Now, does that slow this down at all? Doesn't look to, because we're getting about 2 every tick. I should go look and see if that's what I was getting a second ago. I should have checked that before I did this. See, luckily I record things, so I could go look at my recording and see that I was also getting about 2 per thing here. So I wonder if there's a nice way to automate this with Mur trees, or if I have to like get an auto clicker. I'm assuming I need to get an auto clicker of some kind. All right, so what can click on my behalf? I think the activation module. I think the activation module can do that. Is there a remote activation module? Other options include the player simulator from Integrated Dynamics, but I'm not super quite ready to get into that yet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say activation module is probably the way to go here. So what if we did modular routers, an activation module, needs a couple dispensers, needs a couple droppers. Assuming you're going to want to face this way and have an activation module in you. Let's open the setting up. Front, action, right click, not sneaking at the same look level. Works for me. Now if I were to... Did you notice this thing isn't pouring anymore? That's interesting. Why aren't you pouring anymore? Do you think I tapped it out? Do you think it ran out? That's possible. That's possible. Now, let's check this out. Is this a fluid that we can move? Because there's a liquid hopper. That's from Pneumaticraft. No. There's a golden hopper, rapid hopper. Isn't there like a fluid hopper? Fluid hopper from Little Logistics. I think it's called... Isn't it called flopper? Yeah, a hopper for transferring fluids. Okay. Does that... I'm going to test this with this, and then we might use laser IO. Doesn't look... Though maybe it doesn't have an internal tank of some kind. You know what we could do? Laser IO will tell me if there's a fluid handler on the side here, which means that you can access the fluid inside the tank. So if I got laser IO out, just give me a node and my card holder. Right? Let me get a couple. Oh, that's not my card holder. This is my card holder. It'll draw a laser if there's a fluid handler here, and there doesn't appear to be, which tells me that is not something that's going to work. So no extracting fluids, and it looks like you run out eventually. Now here's the follow-up question: if we were to do fell, did I get more stuff? So I did not get more latex, so that's a good note. So I don't know, frankly. Let's see. Module 1 activator module. I'm going to put that away. Let's grow a new one. Cool. Oh, hey, look, they retained their fluid. Well, that's nice, at least. That's very nice. That's very handy. Okay. So at least we didn't lose the fluid that was in there, right? And now if we put our activator module here, when he hits 1,000, he should auto-click the thing out. So let's wait a few seconds. Aha! Sweet. So we can automate this if we want. My only concern, like I said, is it looks like there's some metric here that probably determines how much fluid is left inside the block. And eventually it seems like it runs out. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But all right, good to know. Good to know. And then this latex can be used for what? Some cool stuff. There's actually a few things we can use it for. So this is a good start. But what I'm probably going to start with, I have a ton of slime, right? Pretty sure. And wasn't I getting slime in my... over here? Didn't I have a bunch of slimes here? Yeah, I have 2,000 slime. I think we can handle rubber that way. Does that work for everybody? Yeah, let's do that. I just wanted to check out, look, we're trying out new things. I just wanted to understand what my options were. So we learned what our options are. And we learned that we don't want to go this route, right? We learned new things. We learned that the wooden buckets don't stack, but that's because they can hold their fluids and retain them. So that makes sense. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what else I wanted to do today? I wanted to real quick get into Culinary Construct and make a culinary station. Can we do that real fast while I'm in the middle of the IC2 FTB Industrial Contraptions content? Can we just instead do this real fast? Because Culinary Construct gives you some really nice options for food, and I'm going to get that right now. Basically, you can make sandwiches. So what I'm going to get is bread, cooked rabbit and mutton, baked potatoes, carrots, and what other food or saturation? I guess I could just double this. And then this. And then you don't have to give it a name if you don't want. So it gives you 11 saturation from that? That's not bad. Delicious, it says. All right, I like delicious. Yeah. So you can click all this out of here, and you'll notice you get quite a few sandwiches, which is nice. What's funny is we burn through the cooked mutton faster. How do we burn through the cooked mutton fast? Like that. All right, so that's enough sandwiches for now. Or maybe I didn't burn through the cooked mutton fast. Rabbit, mutton, rabbit, rabbit, mutton, rabbit. I'd have to rewatch to see what happened. But anyway, I put all this stuff in my backpack. Now we got food for days. And that should actually be really nice. As soon as I need food, we'll see how good that saturation is. But I think that's going to give me like full saturation every time. What I will probably want to do then is change my backpack settings to be... feed as soon as you're a tiny bit hungry. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I mean, we've got enough food now that I'm not going to worry about that too much. All right, so anyway, let's get slime balls cooked. So let's do this. Let's do a very simple. So what we're going to want from FTB, Industrial Contraptions, to make rubber, we just need to smelt slime balls. Okay, so alternatives, slime ball. I'd really like you to be like the green slime ball first. That's what's up. Cool. And then I can add that to my redstone furnace, and then we can do some patterns like the LV cable here, right? So we can add that to our auto crafters. And now if I wanted some LV cable, like 20 of them, it'll auto craft. Cool. All right. Not too shabby. Beautiful. Okay. So now we've got our first bit of cabling. Now, does FTB Industrial Doohickeys have a book of some kind? If it's not in here, it'll be under the patchouli section. So there's peripherals, extreme, laser IO, little logistics, book of natural aura. Reborn Storage has a book in there. Industrial foregoing, but not... Okay, that's fine. No worries. I remember enough. So machine blocks, we're going to need industrial grade metal and a fuse to make machine blocks. Okay, so let's figure out how these guys get made, right? So you are made in a compressor. We're going to need one of those, but that needs a machine block. And we're also going to need electronic circuits at some point. So there must be a way, so we can blast iron into industrial grade metal. Aha. Or we can smelt it, and that's 1-to-1, and that's 1-to-1. Or we compress it 3-to-3. Seems equally 1-to-1-ish, I guess. So what I guess we'll want to do is just this, and throw that in the redstone furnace guy as well. Okay. And now for a fuse, it's going to be that. Okay, so these guys go in here, and then we can see the machine block. Give me 2 of them. That needs some sand. Not too big a deal, but also not too big a deal. See, this is why we need stuff. Okay, so in theory now, you're smelting up a bunch of industrial grade metal, and then you'll make our fuse. Sweet. That works for me. So first machine block, get. Are there achievements for this? Because I'm not seeing any achievements. I'm just saying. Nope, no achievements that I can find, but that's okie dokie, Smokey. Not a concern. All right, so let's get into our first machine. So it looks like... What's interesting to me, though, and I'm just going to say this again, is it doesn't look like we really need too many machines, right? Like in IC2, you would want to use your... I mean, it looks like we got solars, which is neat. Nuclear reactor powered furnace. I wonder if this is using forge energy or if it is truly its own energy system. That's something we're going to have to test. And if we look at the macerator, I assume that you're going to do the same deal as the other guys. One with a 33% chance. Yep, makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, it's just funny to me that so far I don't see a benefit to processing things with the machine blocks, right? Like if we look at it, I don't see a reason to go this route over this route. You know, in IC2 there was always like, hey, use our machines to make our crafting more efficient. Same deal, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. We will play. This is why we're playing with stuff. We're learning. So let's get our first machine of many. Let's pick. I mean, powered furnace seems like a very simple one to go with. You know, or we could go with a macerator. Macerator might not be a bad idea. I don't know if there's anything unique that the macerator can do, but we do need to get electronic circuits. So let's make sure that that is auto-craftable, because that can be, you know, a nuisance. So electronic circuits can now be auto-crafted, I assume. Didn't I do that? Oh, that's a refined storage electronic circuit. My bad. Is that... Wait, why is that refined storage? No, that's right. Electronic circuit from... It's refined storage because it's a pattern. My bad. But yeah, so why, is showing me circuits? There it is. Maybe I was just missing it. Give me a pair of those. And then I need to go take care of a little something over here. You guys. You know, if they didn't come over here and make all this noise and be invisible, it might be another conversation, but they do, so yeah. So compressor, machine block. We might need the compressor. I'm assuming that there will be something we need, but let's start with macerator and go from there, okay? Because that's always a good starting point. So then my next question is, can we power these things with energy pipes? Or is it truly its own... Is it really its own power system? Because that's kind of neat. You know, I don't have an objection to that. I know, you know, some people... Back in the day, every mod had its own power system. And then kind of everybody sort of standardized on forge energy, right? And now kind of people are like, it's a little boring having one giant energy system. So it's kind of neat that it's its own. Now, here's another thing. Back in the day with IC2, if you broke a machine with a pickaxe, you would just get your machine block back. You would not get the machine itself back. I'm curious if this is something that they decided to come up with. Is there a wrench from this mod? There's a wrench from pipes. Framed. Am I missing something? Is there like a screwdriver or something? I don't see anything called wrench. Nothing's jumping out at me, at least. There's nuke arrows, which is absolutely something we're going to have to make, right? Like, how are we not going to make that? There's also a mechanical elytra, which sounds cool. I should play with that at some point. I'm not seeing anything that looks like a wrench, so I'm going to go out on a limb and assume it's safe to break this. And apparently, yes, it is. So let's do this. Let's, where should we put this? Let's make this the IC2-ish industrial. I'm going to call it IC2. Like, it's just, you know, brain. I'm playing with IC2 for 10 years. How am I not going to actually say that by mistake? Is this thing going to be in my way, this cable? If it is, I can move it. Now, if I also recall correctly, machines have different power levels, like LV, MV, allows one-way conversion of that to FE. That becomes war on... Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. So lightning bolts can convert. Allows one-way conversion. One lightning bolt becomes 4 FE. Okay. Allows one-way conversion. So this is like the best-ish, right? Interesting. And I guess burnt cable might be what happens if you throw too much power through a wire. Yeah, I wonder if there's another conversion, but let's get power going then, right? So we're going to want probably a basic generator, or a geothermal would be nice. Is there anything too hard about a geothermal? We're going to need fluid cells, which can be made with some... That seems doable. Let's get a geothermal generator. All right, so make some fluid cells. We're going to control click this stuff. And then you want a basic generator, which needs an iron furnace and an LV battery. Wouldn't be too bad. So there's a basic generator, which I assume is like your standard put burnables in and then you're cool, right? I'll throw some charcoal in for now. Okay, cool. And he gets a little internal battery buffer. He eats through the charcoal. First question I always ask about blocks like this is what happens when this internal buffer fills? Does it burn up the rest of the coal and we waste coal, or does it stop burning the coal and pause? It's always a good question, I'm just saying. Okay. So far? Oh, see? The flame moved, which means it's wasting the coal. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. But now I want to take you. Do you retain your energy? I assume not. Energy capacity is 4,000, it says. But yeah, he does not retain his energy when he gets broken. That's fine. So get me 2 more of these guys so I can make a geothermal real quick. Sweet. All right. And then geothermal generator just needs lava. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to start with popping a geothermal here. Let's run... I'm just assuming that I put the LV cables in and that's it, right? And then the macerator can go here. And it's interesting, it doesn't tell me what voltage these are, right? So I don't know... I'm assuming that if you go above the threshold on the wire is when it burns up. But we'll play with it a little bit and find out, right? Because geos are 20. So in theory, if I put 20, I want to see what happens. I want to see if I blow things up or not. Dire wants to try exploding things. Let's do it. Let's try it out. Let's find out if I can blow things up with this, right? We're learning this mod today, so I should probably teach you the batteries, to be fair. I assume batteries are something I'm going to need more of in the future. Give me like 30 of this stuff would be nice. I've been hesitant because I know I'm low on iron. Iron and redstone I'm like hilariously, embarrassingly low on, right? And then glass we should probably get a little bit more of. I should probably go get some sand or something going on. I'm going to go do that off camera in a minute, though. So if I make 2 geothermals, that would in theory be 40, right? And that might be bad. I'm going to put you here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use laser IO. And so you're going to be an insert fluids in this side kind of deal, right? Redstone ignored. That's fine. And then let's get an ender tank. Now, which color? Did I make it red? I assume I did. I usually make it red. Yes. Aha! I figured out how red dye works. Let's get some bone meal. This looks good. There we go. Lava. Neat. Now remember, these guys only want to access their fluids on the top or bottom, but we have sneaky mode. Ah. So note here is that if you're trying to access it from the default side, the laser doesn't show up. That means that it can't access fluids from that side of the block. But if you change it to the down or the up, and in this case it really doesn't matter, then it can. So laser on equals it works. Okay, laser off equals it doesn't. So if I set you to extract 1,000, there we go. Geothermal. Power coming in. Okie dokie, Smoky. And you've got power, which is good. And you've got power, and I assume you're done now. Sweet. So you know what we have to do next? We have to put an insert into the down here. And then if we got some like cobble, for example, I'm just curious how this works. Are you going to blow up on me? I mean, I guess not. What if I break and replace you? Zoinks. Doesn't seem to be a problem. So far, no explodey bits, which is always, that's good. That's pretty nice so far. Okay. That's cool. So we've got a macerator. First machine. Sweet. And geothermals. I wouldn't mind energy. Now, here's a thing. FTB industrial contraptions, what do we have by way of batteries? In block form. In IC2, there were energy crystals and lapis energy crystals. Remember those? And bat boxes. So we've got LV, transformer, MV, and HV. Max in, max out, and extreme voltage. Okay. And then here's your battery boxes. Okay, so low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, and okay, cool. Got it. So what we might want to do is make one of these. And I bet I can control click this and it'll make it all for me, right? In theory. Yeah, buddy. So that's cool. And I could replace you. Now, if I remember correctly, also from IC2, there's one output face and all the others are input. So you want to place the block in the right direction. That should work. And then he's got a little buffer of power, and he'll feed into these guys, and that could be cool. Okay. And then what do we got by way of the next tiers, right? So if we want an MV battery box, we're going to need energy crystals. Got it. HV battery boxes need energy crystals and graphene, which I assume has its own, all right, compressed cobalt and obsidian. Looks familiar. And EV battery boxes need antimatter crystals. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm excited to see what that's all about. Oh my goodness. Look at the oh, that's fancy. I like that. I assume we're going to find out at some point how antimatter is made, but I don't see a JEI recipe for it. So maybe it's in, maybe it's not. We'll find out. Well, I think I figured out how to get antimatter, so that's cool. Let's see what we've got by way of power advancements that we can get. So there's also a windmill, which is kind of meh. There's solar panels. There's a nuclear reactor. And that's it for power gen, it looks like. Let's do this. Let's plan with how do we get to the quarry, right? Because that's really what I'm after, is I want to get a quarry up and running. So let's see what's all involved in getting to that. Now that's going to have a max input of 512 energy units per tick. So yeah, that's going to need some advanced circuits, some advanced machine blocks, and some advanced alloy. Advanced circuits look easy enough. I can make them right this instant. Well, except for them out of redstone, as mentioned. Advanced machine blocks need copper coils, which don't look bad. Carbon plates, which is a compressor, so we need a compressor. Carbon fiber mesh, carbon fibers, coal dust, which we can probably get from a macerator. Okay, so that's good. So we need a compressor. And then we need to process these guys, right? And then the final piece for the quarry is going to be the advanced alloy. Did I capture that correctly? Copper coils, carbon plate, advanced alloy, right? And then a machine block. So advanced alloy will be a mixed metal blend, which we can either make... Looks like we have to make it with a mixed metal blend. So we're going to need iron... That's interesting. Interesting. So I'm going to go this route, I think. And then bronze can be copper and tin. Okay. That's probably the route I'm going to take. Yeah, let's go that route. So we're going to want to automate some of these machines at some point. But unfortunately, I need to go mining because somebody doesn't have enough of, well, much of anything, to be honest with you. Somebody's exceedingly low on... I'm going to put away the ritual thing. I don't need my wand on me. I don't technically need this at the moment. Yeah, long story short, probably time to go mining. So let's wrap up the episode here. I'll mine between episodes, and then when I come back, we'll have more redstone, which will be yay. Also, somebody told me, can I put ender pearls? Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Sweet, that's neato. Now, is this also 12? Ah, okay, cool. Now, somebody also said something about Eyes of Ender. Can I do that? Like, is that... Oh. I guess not. Hey, worth a try. All right, so wrapping up point for the episode. Dowell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll come back next time. Play more with FTB Industrial Contraptions. Check out what the mod's all about. And hopefully get to the point where we can make a quarry and possibly enough power from FTB Industrial Contraptions because it has its own power system. Nuclear reactor might be a thing we do at some point. I don't know if there's a wiki that explains anything, but I assume it's similar to how the nuclear reactor worked in, you know, IC2. But we'll figure it out. For now, Dowell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.